Are you ready for cocktails and conversation? Are you ready for cocktails and conversation? Are you ready for cocktails and conversation? With your host, the unapologetic diva, Dr. G, the girlfriend therapist, Dr. Cortina Lewis, and the networking extraordinaire, Diana Richardson Philippus. Are you ready for cocktails and conversation? This is Herspiration Happy Hour. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to another episode of Herspiration Happy Hour. This is your unapologetic diva, Dr. G.
Dr. Cortina Peters.
This is your networking This is your networking extraordinaire, Diana Richardson Philippus. We was like, come on, Shay.
And this is Shay Walker, your coach of courage.
And Cortina, because your mind was gone just now.
No, I said it, but I don't know. Was I muted? Can you all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you just fine. Look, I want to know what we're drinking today. You might be sipping.
No,
we all but
I do. I think there's a delay, but I'm gonna see if you all can hear me as I give the drink of today. And the drink of today is called Ageless Pussy. And so what you do is you want to combine in a shaker 2 ounces of vodka, 1 ounce of strawberry puree, 3/4 ounces of fresh lemon juice, 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. And you want to shake that vigorously until it's well chilled. And then you want to pour it in a glass. And then if you want to garnish it, you want to garnish it with a side of strawberry and a lemon twist for a burst of color and flavor.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Okay.
So maybe we should start off with, how are you doing today, Cortina?
How are you? What made me think of that is because we were talking about menopause like last month, and I was like, oh my God, that just fits so well, because ageless and timeless, something about elegance and grace, no matter what age you are, because good pussy never goes out of style.
That part.
It showed up.
That part.
It showed up.
That part is marshmallow.
High five to that. High five to that.
High five.
High five.
Oh my gosh. So first of all, let me just
wait a minute. Coming on. Lord.
Yeah.
Jesus. Hold on.
Look ageless, but just sweating everywhere. Well,
I'm just glad I'm out of that sweaty stank era.
You really speaking of, so there, I just saw the email today. There is actually a OBGYN doctor that has seen our episode that wants to come on and talk about those things. And I was like, wow. Great timing. I think, before initially we really didn't want to have a doctor on there because it becomes too clinical when we want to talk about like what we each are individually going through, or in your case, Shay, have gone through. So I think it's important now to get someone who specializes in all of in this specific area that can answer some of the questions or kind of help alleviate, if it's even possible, some of the things that your body naturally goes through as a woman. So I'm going to return the email today, send the scheduling link, but definitely I'm hoping that she can come on sooner rather than later. And by that, I mean, like, we only have really a month and a half left in the first half of the season before we go on hiatus. So that's all I had to say.
Oh,
good.
And then secondly, y'all, we're past tax time. Can y'all breathe a little bit? I feel like I want to take a moment of silence because the way that this year was set up for me, This is my first year that Jay and I had to do taxes together. So it was a little bit interesting as a business owner that actually also have to do taxes now jointly, but it got done. It got done.
I've
I'm very
never
grateful.
filed taxes, and I've been married twice. I've always filed. I never filed with my spouse.
Really?
Never.
You get more when you file
We
joint.
file
There's more.
married and separate as well.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-mm.
You can still file married, but you separate,
Separate.
married, and
Yeah,
whatever.
no.
Yes.
I don't want him messing up my.
It was more beneficial. It was more beneficial for me to file jointly because I did it separately and I did it together.
So for me, it's better separate because I have a daughter going to college. So when we're filling out for those different things, he would price us out of certain scholarships and stuff like that. So we need to know.
Oh, now for that, yes, I certainly get more taxes stuff taken out. But I don't have any kids, so.
Oh well, yeah.
I mean,
we don't have children, but it works for us. It really does. And then with me, with 3, it'd be a lot. It's a lot. And he'd be already looking at me like.
I think they said next year we're going to be able to claim our fur babies.
But that's only if they have to be service animals.
Oh, God damn it. I thought you could already claim service animals.
Let me sign all 3 of them up. Let me sign all 3 of mine. I need service. Okay. I need service.
For real. As much
people can claim him.
Shit, his food alone is expensive. He's his own grocery bill.
Yeah.
Hold on. Because all 3 of my kids are registered service animals. What you talking about? What you mean you can claim them? What we talking about?
They're trying to pass, I believe, a bill that you can claim your service animal. When people said pets, I had to go look into it because I was happy. I was like, oh, I can claim, medical, dental, all kind of stuff. So I might even put his ass in daycare if I can get that written off too. But I saw it was service animal.
Oh,
Coach, you ready to be a service animal? You ready to be a service animal? I don't know why you just thought dog just came in here and pushed the whole door open.
Because he's service animal.
Excuse me.
And y'all, you know what? If I did pet therapy though, not necessarily, but in my business, because people not service animals, but emotional support animals, right? So bringing Rhea to the office because she don't bark. You don't even know she's there. But so we had a situation where I had someone in our neighborhood who goes to school with Morgan. Her parents put her out and she came to our house. And so we ended up having to call the police and everything like that. But Rhea just sat by her side and put her head in her lap, could feel the anxiety and what was happening to her. And Morgan was like, oh my gosh, I always knew she was special, but we need to get her registered as a service animal because if you're feeling anxious, she's going to come up to you and she's just going to sit by you. And so the young ladies was able to talk more, and then Rhea became a little bit more and was Rhea was letting her rub her and everything like that. And it was so cute to see. So, if he was used in my office, I would be able to write off for food, training, grooming, boarding, pet insurance, vet bills, and things like that. So that's something that I might actually seriously consider as it relates to being a part of the therapy that's being able to be provided. Because I have a few clients that really love pets. And so Rhea, she's pretty good. She I don't have to worry about her barking or running around. She would just.
Is she still scared of people?
Certain people.
Okay.
Like her, she had never seen her before, but like I said, she came out because she got her little apartment. So she came out and she just sat by her. I was like, girl, You ain't scared of people with anxiety because you got anxiety. Y'all match. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she was good with her. Because you know, she see people, she run away.
Yeah.
You won't even know she's there. But I think if you have an emotional need, she feels that and she's drawn to you.
Oh, that's so sweet. Kofi don't give a damn.
It is very sweet.
Kofi just like, he'll
Well,
come.
Suki is very in tune. Like if you're upset, Suki's that way.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. Kofi just Kofi. He'll just drop a sock in your face and like come and get.
Right. His
I know,
right?
And you know what? He'll be 2 tomorrow. He'll be 2 years old.
Happy birthday to him! Oh,
I don't know what
the hell was that?
I don't know.
Happy birthday!
How does that happen?
He'll be 2
I know,
tomorrow.
because remember we
Happy
were
birthday.
like coming up and all kind of stuff, and
happy birthday! Yeah. Happy birthday!
Look at us. Now we're about to sit on here and look like some geriatrics trying to
Kofi's birthday.
This is giving real senior citizen behavior. Cut it out. No. We all over here talking about.
I mean, literally, all I feel like I said was tomorrow is his birthday, and I said he's 2. And next you know, balloons just started.
Yeah. Then the balloons
came up. I said birthday.
Are you on your MacBook?
But you have a Apple.
Yeah.
So are you on your laptop?
MacBook? It does that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I do. But I'm on StreamYard, so I would think that when you're typically on a phone, then
that's why it's happening.
Okay, interesting. Interesting.
Well, it must be. What is it?
Huh?
Yeah, my phone does it.
So I got to do a technical check really quick. Am I pausing or delaying at all?
No. I think Diana was just a second.
Diana, okay, so it's you. Yeah, it's because it's on your side.
Is it because I saw you and Cortina?
Oh, I don't know. You never know. This be all weird. Super weird. It's super weird. So I'm glad, like I said, I'm glad we're past tax time and we have like a month and a half left before our summer hiatus. And I mean, this I feel like this summer is going to be busy. This is a big graduation season for a lot. I have literally 3 to go to in May.
In the same week.
Within 3 weeks straight, three weeks back to back, I have graduation. So it's going to be very, very interesting. May is going to be interesting, but I'm looking forward to next week.
Yay.
Okay. Let me see. The guest said she's here. I don't see her. Let me see. Oh, I do now. And so our guest has arrived, and it was me. Part of it was me. At first I didn't see her, but now I do see her. So I'm going to introduce our guest. And before I bring her out, I'll give a little bit of background on her. Our guest today is Elizabeth Johnson, and she is a Brooklyn, New York native who now resides in Florida. Go figure. Everybody's trying to flock to the warmer weather. She's a children's book author. She's also the chief operating officer with PlaTy Multimedia. She was named 2021 Authors Porch and Pulse. Oh, that sounds like a play on word. I almost said the wrong thing. Porch and Pulse magazine author of the year, and received a proclamation for Black History Month in 2021 from the mayor of Palm Bay, Florida. So I'm going to let her introduce herself because, first of all, I'm hoping we can dive into her story a little bit because this woman is freaking fabulous. We're going to bring to the stage Elizabeth Johnson. Hey, how are you?
Hi, ladies. How y'all doing?
Good. Hey, girl.
Amazing.
I got my drink here ready to go.
What you drinking? Because I know you don't really drink.
I don't. I don't. I did get the drink that I think it was one day we was talking about drinks and different things. So I did go to Starbucks and get my favorite drink. It's the caramel ribbon crunch. So it's cream based because I don't do coffee. So it's cream based and it has the candy coated chunks in it and the caramel whipped cream. So
that sounds sweet. Is it real
really
sweet? Is it? Wait a minute. Is it a coffee?
it's not coffee. You can get it as coffee, but I can tell when it's not cream based. So it's milk. It's cream based, almost like a milkshake.
Oh,
like
so there's no tea in it. There's no coffee in it.
Just
Girl,
milk.
why you going to Starbucks then?
I'm gonna learn how to do it myself, but until then, I only get it once in a while. So
Look, stay out of grown folks' business. Look.
No, this is the first time I have ever heard of anyone going to Starbucks and not walking out with a tea or a coffee. Just milk. That's okay.
Yeah, just milk. It's cream based. So
I don't
use coffee. I can tell.
No coffee.
I can tell when they put coffee in it. Yeah. I can tell it goes to my head, so I can kind of tell.
So you don't drink coffee either?
No.
Okay, so y'all, just for context, she don't drink alcohol and she don't drink coffee. I used to have this thing like, who do I trust when you don't drink coffee or alcohol? Yeah, okay. Like I see, I know you, so I know you're good.
Healthy living.
That's super healthy living. I love it. I tried going off coffee and I'll just switch to tea. Do you drink tea?
I drink tea. I love tea.
Okay.
I love the different types of tea. Yes.
Okay. So for all of our viewers and those who are going to do the playback, can you introduce yourself and tell a little bit about yourself and even your journey to becoming an author? Just kind of like give a quick little background on who you are.
All right. As you stated, my name's Elizabeth Johnson. I am a Brooklyn, New York native. Go Brooklyn, go New York. And I am also the chief operating officer at PlaTy Multimedia and Publishing Company. Also, author, work part-time as well. And I do other things throughout the community. Very well-rounded. And I just love doing me. I just love life. I love to bake. I love sports. I love Pittsburgh Steelers. Sorry for all of you Eagles fans, but I'm a Steelers fan all day long.
So you look, don't make me go put my Eagles gear on because it's just.
As a matter of fact, I wanted to put on my Pittsburgh Steelers, but I knew that between you and Diana, I don't know about Cortina and Shay yet.
I'm a Steelers fan all day.
I knew that would be something that we would.
Really, by default, I'm a 49ers fan.
Oh, okay.
No, by default, so means she really don't have a team. That's what that means. Default, like it don't
Diana have to be by default. It don't have to be. Right. I have a 49er fan here. It don't have to be by. Choose a side. Choose a side.
That's what I'm talking about.
It would be the Saints then. It would be the Saints if anybody else. The New Orleans.
The Saints.
They used to be.
Okay, let's talk about something else.
Never mind.
Seriously. Okay, so let me ask you this. You just spoke. You wear a lot of hats.
Yes.
What's balance look like for you trying to multitask between everything that you do?
Balance looks like balancing. Life is lifing. I try to do everything. My one thing is I use a calendar. I write my stuff down. So that kind of helps out to kind of navigate through, the week and everything like that. And I usually plan on Saturday, Sunday for the week ahead. So I kind of know what meetings I have, what I have going on, that type of thing. I have to keep myself in order. If I don't write it down, it doesn't happen.
So how do you rest? Like, what does rest look like to you then? You said Saturday and Sunday, you're still writing things down. So what does rest?
I rest in between the times that I do activities. I guess that's kind of my rest. I don't kind of I do outside activities and things like that, but I do take time now that I'm getting my office painted and everything. So I do take time to go sit in my office, read, and take time to, navigate, watch TV, different things. I kind of do all that when I come home. I make
Oh,
it
so
all
you
work out.
well, I'm going to ask for all the round table here. What's your guilty pleasure on TV? Because we got
I have to
some
have the
shows.
TV.
What shows? Like, what's your guilty pleasure?
Ooh. Well, I love the Oval. I was watching the Oval,
Oh.
the series of the Oval. And then I got into Family Business. I was watching that, the Family Business, but I couldn't finish it. I don't know why. I'm still on episode number 1. I just couldn't get with it. So I just couldn't get with it. So
Cortina, what's yours? I mean, what's one of, because you like the little, I don't want to call it smut TV, but what's your, I'm trying to think of the one you like that you.
So I like a lot of them. So right now it's so funny because I'm on Dexter. I started from the beginning. And so even though the new one, like when he was a teenager, is on now, but I mean the series ended. So I started back Dexter from the beginning. So I binge watch that all the time. And Raising Cain. Kanan, Raising Kanan from Power. Love that.
Oh, Power.
And Power, Raising Kanan. So this is Kanan's story. Oh my God. Love all the actors and actresses that's in that. And I do like Housewives of Potomac, Housewives of Atlanta, all of that, TV, because I could just look at that and I don't have to think about anything. Mm-hmm. So those are the things that I'm kind of watching now. And then my husband likes watching the University of Colorado. I guess they have a show, that he watches. So I watch that with him, and National Geographic and ID Channel. So anything on those,
I think it was the Housewives. Do you watch any of those? It's like reality TV. Elizabeth, do you watch any of those?
I watch the Housewives, but it gets down heavy and dirty with them. It gets down heavy and dirty. So yeah, I've watched it, but yeah.
Diana, isn't that your show too? The Housewives? That's not your show, one of your shows?
I typically watch the Housewives of Potomac. The Housewives of Atlanta, I can't do it no more. It's just, to me, it's just trash. That's just my personal opinion. The things that are going on, it's just really trash. It is. I mean, I can't understand. I don't even want to bring up I did watch an episode the other night because all this stuff was going on with Kenya Moore and what she did to another woman on there. Yeah. And let me just give my opinions to myself. To answer the question, I watched The Real Housewives of Potomac, and I do like Married to Medicine.
Okay.
I don't like Married to Medicine.
Yeah.
My mom got me into all of those things, and I haven't really like watching. Somebody said the hunting party is good. I think I tried watching The Hunting Party. I have to check that out.
Is that a series?
I don't know. I think it is though. I don't give me the line.
Listen, y'all need to get into Yellow Jackets. Is what y'all need to watch.
Oh, love Yellow Jackets. Oh my God, so good.
Good. Okay, so let me go back to asking questions because I need to probe something. So, Elizabeth, you just came back out of town, looking fabulous, looking fabulous, celebrating your mom's 70th,
90th.
So 90th. I'm sorry, 90th birthday. I'm sorry because my mom's gonna turn 70, so that's on my mind. Her 90th. First of all, did y'all see the pictures of her mom?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I did. She looks amazing.
Beautiful.
90 where I was like, when she sent me that picture, I was like, who is this? I need a non card check. So how did you feel? I didn't I say that? I was like, I need to see because something ain't believable. No,
so today is her official birthday. Today is her official birthday.
Happy birthday.
And it's funny because I became the first book I released came out on April 16th, 2021. So all that happened, in honor of my mom. So today is her official day. She's 90 years old. Yes.
So what was your book about that you wanted it released on her birthday?
Well, it was the first book. It was just me becoming an author. anyways, just becoming an author and releasing it, and having my mom be the first person to actually hold it. It was very sentimental to me. So just like my dad, seeing my mom hold the book and being able to be there, although I had lost my dad Thanksgiving Day a couple of years back, it just meant a lot for me to have my mom a part of that journey with me.
Oh, that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. So, so celebrating your 90th, celebrate her 90. What was that like for you? Like, I mean, 90 is such, they live such an enriched life. There's so much that you can learn that can be shared. And honestly, sometimes I don't think that we realize the value asset of the legacy that you can learn about your family, to be able to speak to someone that is that mature, because I don't like to think of as old, because your mama looks good. But so what do you feel like you've learned, and what was that like, celebrating 90 years of her life?
Ooh. I can start saying I cried because my mom is the one that continues when I don't have any friends or anything. My mom is the one I can go to get those words of wisdom. And she, till this day, she still pours it into me, and she's the one that encourages me and says, you can do it. I had a thing in my story where I was just laying on her chest, and she was telling me, I miss you. When you leave, all I'm going to be doing is looking straight at the TV. And it's like, when I'm there, I'm just happy to be in her presence. That's all. I'm just happy to be in her presence.
So we was talking last week, Cortina, don't you start crying, because Cortina's now is going to be kind of separating a little bit from her daughter's getting ready to go to college. And you had mentioned that it was like that for your son, and that you went to therapy to help your, overcome some of those emotions that you were going through. Do you still feel like that, when you left home, or when you're away from your mom? Do you ever have those feelings like, oh.
Yes. I cried like a baby going to that airport yesterday. I literally cried, because it's like when I leave my mom and she says, I'll see you next time. I'll see you next time. And we just, sometimes we take those things for granted and say, oh, I'll just see you next time. But it's real to me when I say, Mom, I'll see you next time. And I won't see my mom until, Thanksgiving. However, that's why I stay there and I sit there and I create those memories with her. And people don't understand, when you have your parents, living, do as much as you can, because when they're gone, and give them their flowers. And that's why I was able to give my mom her flowers. She won't be able to see them when she's gone. So I gave her flowers to where she's able to see, smell, and be able to hold them.
Got to make me tear up over here.
I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I mean, and with your mom right now, aren't you?
Yeah. Navigating a very sensitive space too. I told you guys before the new year, my mom had the stroke and she lost her sight. And so these moments are so precious, to just be present and be with her. And I take such honor in being able to take care of her. She's in this, I'm trying to get her to relocate to Florida with me so that she can be closer. She's presenting a little challenge there because she wants to keep her independence. And it's not even about the independence. I don't want her to feel that she's losing her independence. I just want her to be closer so that I can do the things that I enjoy doing for her, cooking for her, and talking and laughing and, poking at her and, making jokes and just being present, being able to even just simply go put her eye drops in her eyes. I just, I navigated a rough teen life with my mom. And so we were kind of oil and water. So to be at this juncture in my life where I'm standing on business when it comes to seeing after my parents, like, I take pride in this, and I have to leave in the morning. I've been here for a week now and I've got to leave in the morning. And God, if I could just fold her up and put her in a car and she wouldn't fight with me, I would put her right in there and go. But it's not something that I can do. She's not ready for that kind of transition. So I'm in my feelings about having to part ways with her. And
I
I'm
was in my
already
feelings too.
anxious to get back to her already, and I haven't even
Yeah.
left. So, man, look at me. You know, pull the water out.
I'm sorry. I'm still in my feelings because I call her my
Yeah.
mom. You know, it's a transition on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that it's. I mean, I think especially when mothers and daughters have close relationships and bonds, there's it's just something so special there. And like you said, Shay, that you navigated a kind of a rough childhood with your mom, and I don't know what that's like because my mom's always been my best friend. And Cortine, I believe yours was the same way. Your mom's always been like your best friend in there, and that's kind of the relationship that you had. And Diana, you as well, right? Um, are you kind of stuck there? Um, so like what really created the bond for you, Elizabeth, with your mom?
Ooh. I think way in the beginning when I started to, develop, in my teenage years and, going through the, puberty and different things like that. It was when, I had to go to my mom and say, what is this? What's going on? What's going on here? And she was able to tell me and explain to me. And by my mom being older, she had more wisdom and more nuggets to give me. I wasn't one to, go hang out with friends and different things that other people was able to do. I didn't have a cell phone. I had a beeper. So if you wanted to call me, I had a beeper on the side. So that's how I got my calls. We didn't have cell phones.
Okay, beeper.
Beep, beep.
I was going to say 143.
Yeah, you had those,
Yeah.
the little codes, you had that going on. So.
Yeah, no, that's super dope. And so so what made you decide to just to become a children's book author? Of all authors, you was a children's book author. I feel like there's significance when you decide to go that way. I did not become a children's book author immediately. It was something that I kind of gravitated to. Well, actually, I woke up convicted, but it was something that hit me that said I need to not only be speaking to adults, that it's the world that breaks the young kids, and I need to have those conversations in order to hope that kids will grow up and have a different level of self-esteem and a different level of self-awareness. And so that's what really kind of made me say, I want to be a children's book author. So for you, what was that pivotal moment that you decided, I think I want to be a children's book author?
Well, the pivotal moment, becoming I was a teacher as well. That's something. I was also a teacher and I taught VPK and third grade. So that kind of threw an impact on it as well. And being able to be around, children, I was able to gravitate to, I miss my mommy or I miss my daddy and different things that they were going through, not only in the classroom, but they would bring what they were going through at home sometimes in the classroom, and I was able to, mommy's coming back, so being a children's book author, it was something that I was able to, collaborate with me and Tyrell to come up with, the first book, Just Like My Dad, and being able to, that's bringing it back to the basics and starting a conversation with the parents and the children, because sometimes we don't have those conversations with, parents and children. I remember when, me growing up, my mom had us around the table and we had to talk about how our day went, but now the children have it to where, it's come home, do your homework, go to bed, do this. It's microwavable. So it's basically coming and having a passion and a love for children. So that was kind of how it came all about.
Okay. And then you also co-authored 3 more after that.
Yes.
What were those about?
I'm sorry?
I said, what were those about?
Okay, and then Just Like My Dad 2 is the second part of Just Like My Dad 1. And then Mama Mel's Kitchen Trust Goes a Long Way. It's a children's book, a grandmother raising her granddaughter. And that comes into the love of baking in the community. which I love to bake. I bake cakes and different things, cookies, brownies, all different types of treats. When I lost my job to COVID, I was able to take on that passion of baking. So that book, it has two, and each one of those books has 2 recipes in it, but also has a twist in it to where it's talks about, it has an adventure in it. So in Mama Mel's Kitchen, Trust Goes a Long Way, that basically talks about, the grandma baking in the community. However, someone steals the lemon bars, and me and my granddaughter are on the hunt to try to go find out, why someone would steal our lemon bars. What we find out a young boy in the community did, but instead of someone punishing him or doing something like that to, say you did a bad thing, we invite him into the kitchen to help us bake for the community.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's really nice. And I love lemon bars. I can't even lie. I don't do very many cookies and sweet stuff like that. Now, candy, yes, but baking good, not really big one. But a lemon bar.
So all the baking and all that is building teamwork. It's teamwork. Some parents are not there. However, the grandparents are there and they're raising the children. So it's bringing all that collaboration into the story as well.
Do you feel like you see that as much now, where there are grandparents that are raising the grandchildren? I don't feel like I see that as much, and I think part of that is grandparents are a little bit younger than I can remember, or let me tell you, low key, they might have been my age, but I felt like this age was old then. So I cannot be the only one.
I'm not seeing it as much. I'm seeing a lot of young people, raising children. So children raising children. I'm not seeing as much as back when I was, there was a grandparent raising their grandson or granddaughter. I'm not seeing it as much, but I'm seeing more children raising children.
Okay. Grandma's out here looking good.
Yeah, grandmas are looking good. So grandmas are trying to go do their own thing these days.
Yeah, grandma's trying to be outside.
Yeah,
grandmas are outside.
I was about to say grandma's not trying to be outside. Grandma's is outside.
Outside and fine. Okay, they are.
Well, not only grandmas, aunties too.
Well, one time for the aunties. Yes,
one time for the aunties.
When I can be, I'm outside.
Say what? Say what now? You said you were auntie. You outside.
I said I am outside when I can be. I'm outside in a good way with the mister. Well, outside. We outside. Let me rephrase that. We outside.
I'm an auntie with the nieces and nephews. I'm glad that they are most of them anyway. Not all of them are of age, but a good majority of them that are. It's nice to be outside with them, and everybody just never knows that I'm auntie. That's kind of nice.
Oh, that's nice.
God, I need to know your mama's ritual so that way, when I turn 90, that I can still look like I'm like 30 years younger.
I'm seeing that the grandmas now, not even my mom's age, they give themselves, different names. I'm not grandma, I'm glamma. So we changing names around here so we can still, keep the tradition. But hey, don't call me grandma.
Oh, my aunt Beverly, she's not grandma, she's Safta. And Safta is grandmom in, I can't remember what language it is, but yeah, she's Safta.
Oh, okay.
Safta.
Safta.
Okay.
Right.
I'm
Nana. Was that easy for the kids to transition to? Safta?
That's all they've ever known her as.
Okay. Well, that's interesting.
Okay. My baby's call me Nana.
It's a Jewish terminology.
Oh, it's Jewish. Francesca said it was Arabic. Safta.
Well,
okay.
Well, it can be all interchangeable with the languages. I mean, there's a lot of English language comes from other languages as well. But Safta, I like that. I'm not going to have a stepdaughter, but I don't know if she wants kids. But Safta is nice. But still, that kind of sounds.
Well, she is who she is.
Has a ring to it.
She's not about to be grandma. She's Safta. Okay.
Like life.
She's Safta.
Look, softer for the soft life livers. Okay.
One time.
Oh my gosh. So let me ask you this. You said you were from Brooklyn. What made you go to Florida? What was
Well,
that?
my dad retired from New York City Housing Authority. So it was either when you retire from New York City, coming down from retirement, you either come to, it was either Palm Bay, Florida, or Fort Lauderdale. So we chose Palm Bay, Florida, and that's where we live. Palm Bay, Melbourne, next city.
Okay. Yeah, I know where Melbourne. Palm Bay, I believe I've heard of, but I'm more familiar with like Melbourne, whatever that is, and Cocoa, Florida. That area. By NASA,
It's all in the same area. It's
all in the same area. Yeah.
All in the same area.
Okay. That's different. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're just all the way over on that side, there's not much to do, is there?
No.
The beach.
So have you been? Okay, so I had never until I went to like either Melbourne or Cocoa area. There's out by going towards the beach. There is like a 5 or 6 story novelty shop. Have you been there? They had things in there I have never seen before. Things that look like it belonged in a GYN clinic. Okay, I was like, what? Like several things. I'm just being real.
Is it like the Devil's Den or something with the den in it?
I don't remember. I just remember it being several floors, and I even went up top, and then I went all the way down. And the further down you went, the more it was like.
The deeper down the rabbit hole you go, huh?
Oh wow!
That's what it sounds like.
It was very interesting, but that was my memory outside of some bonfires and some airboating I was doing while I was out there. But that was an eye opener because one, I didn't even really start watching porn until I was in my 30s. So this walking into this shop was like overwhelming, but like, woo, all the stuff that's out there you would never know, especially the stuff that looked like it belonged in a GYN. I was like, aren't there like a speculum or something?
I've never seen it.
It's some freaks out here. It's interesting to go. It's like a museum to me, but it's several floors. I'm gonna take you, ladies. We're all gonna go. I'm gonna come down to Florida, and we're just gonna go. Cortina, I feel like you've been.
So, Morgan's looking at a school in Melbourne. So,
what school?
Florida Institute of Technology.
Technology. Okay, that's my brother works there, so that's real close. Yes.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we're trying to make a decision.
Yeah. Decisions.
I know. They work very closely with NASA and SpaceX and Boeing and stuff like that. So internships would be very interesting for her. I said, all right, well, you know what side to stay on, girl.
Yeah.
So Elizabeth, how often do you see your son?
Well, my son, I don't see him often, but he always calls. And every time I get the phone call, I'll be like, oh, what now? But he's 26, so he lives on his own. So I don't hear much, but I was close, like Cortina was talking about. My son, my heart, when he told me he was ready to go out, I was like crying. I was like, when he came to me and told me, he was like, I'm ready to leave. And I was like, leave where? Where are you going? There's nowhere for you to go. Where are you going? And before I knew it, he had everything packed up on the truck, ready to go. And I cried. I did because it was always me and him. So, that really, it took a lot for me to see him go out. And I'm like, be careful, do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't you get, I'm still saying that, and he'll be 26. So I understand when people talk about it.
How far did he move? How far away?
Not far, like probably 15, 20 minutes away.
Oh, that's great.
Did you lean back? Not far, but it's
You,
it's just it's just
was he came and just packed the truck up and like he got gone. He went up the
listen.
street.
It's easy for somebody to say, "Go meet me at the pizza place," but when I put my eyes on you and know that I can, it's different. It's just a parent. I'm sorry, it's just a parent in me.
No, I thought he went far.
No.
Like, okay, girl, you made it seem like when he was like he just packed the truck up, and so you can technically you can do a drive by.
Well, he came to the birthday party and everything, and he flew on his own, and it was like, "Are you? I'm calling his phone. You okay? When you fly, he's flown to Puerto Rico. He's done different things, but it's just a mama's thing of calling and just making sure it's just in me.
Okay, so there are so many things that I just love about you since I've met you. So shock me. What don't I know about you? Just like something that's so random that people wouldn't even think looking at you. What would be like? I would have never thought.
I am an NHRA fanatic.
What?
National
What
Hot Rod Association.
Drag National Rifle Association.
I was about to say,
that's what you talking about. Oh, okay then. All right.
Yeah, okay.
I love drag racing.
What?
I love it. I love it.
Do you drag race?
No, I don't drag race. However, I go every year to what's called Gator Nationals in Gainesville. This is I went in March, my 17th year.
Now, okay, I would have never. Now that I didn't see coming.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, me neither.
You would have said rifles. I would have been like, okay, but no, Hot Rod, the National Hot Rod Association. Okay. I just learned something new.
It's just something about that car just going, coming up to that when that stop and it takes off and it tries to beat the other cars. Just something about that. And I also follow, Antron Brown, who is my number one driver. I have him. I've been to all of his, every race for this last 17 years. So follow him from West Palm all the way up to Gainesville.
So let me ask, who inspires you? Wow. Who inspires you? Like and I know it's like a deep question, but you inspire so many people. You definitely inspire me. I always, even since meeting you, I can't always put to words how dynamic of a woman you are. So but who empowers you? Who inspires you to continue to do all of the things that you do?
I would say my son, my mom, and my husband. They inspire me to continue doing what I'm doing. I want to leave a legacy behind for my son. At one point, it was just me and my son, and I didn't want him to be in this world by himself. So when I got married and everything, I knew that would, come together. However, I just wanted him to see that I can, coming from, being adopted and different things like that. I just wanted my son to be able to see that if I can do it, so can he. And being inspired by, my mom's thoughts and the nuggets and things that she dropped, the different things that she showed me and my siblings every single time, do this, do that. She saved me from a lot of things. I think that's who inspired me every single day to continue to do what I do. And I even inspire myself, like I look in the mirror and say that you can do it. And if I can do it, then anyone can. So, yes.
Wow,
so I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is one of those grounding questions because a lot of us, we endure it. And I'm going to use the word endure it and not go through it. We endure it. How do you endure it? How do you refuel yourself? How do you keep your cup full?
Ooh. I think I've had so much loss to where I pour out so much to help everybody. And that's one thing that I have to take into account for. You do so much for people, but how do you, who encourages the encourager is what I say daily. And sometimes I have to find my own self, pat my own self on the back. And sometimes I have to, it's words that I have to say to myself. It's not having and being able to continue to push through. And basically, like I said, encouraging myself, knowing that, there's better coming.
So you have to set
yes, you do have to set boundaries to where people don't, use you or, anything like that. You definitely have to set boundaries, and you have to stick to them too. Because some people, we set boundaries and then we like, oh, okay, we kind of say, oh, I'll do this and oh, I'll do that. But you have to set boundaries and stick to them. That's one thing that you have to do. You have to set a boundary. No, and then the power of no. No means no. No, I can't do that right now. It was always yes, or I'll find a way to see how I can maneuver it or factor it into what I'm doing. But we have to sometimes learn the power of no and be able to say it, stand on it, and, and move forward with it. No, I can't do it. So the power of no as well.
When you are in your season, when you've breached your season of solitude, what they like, what's really, it's the valley season, right? But when you breach your season of solitude, how do you not only identify, how do you identify what's fight or what's flight? That moment right there. And then how do you pull yourself into how do you get yourself back to your sweet spot?
Ooh, and I can tell you, when I first, I always thought that I would never get fired off any job. Let's just start there. I thought I would never get fired or lose my job or anything. But when I lost my job to COVID, I can tell you, I went into a dark place to where I just thought that there was no way out. But I had to talk myself out. Not only talk myself out, I had to pray my way out. And sometimes, and the people who I thought would call, they didn't. That phone ain't ring. I looked at the phone. I turned the phone upside down. Thought it was a battery. The battery was dead. When I say no one called, not no one. And that's when I knew that prayer, time to myself, was something internal. It wasn't something I had to look for. So those were the times where I said, oh, this is the time, this is you and God. So it's no credit given to man, it's given to him when I go through certain situations in my life.
That's good stuff.
It is. That's heavy. I know that a lot of people went through a lot of emotional things through COVID. What was it like coming out on the other side? What was that like for you? That mental transition? Because I think sometimes, when people, you never look like what you've been through. And, oftentimes, prayer is great. Did you also do therapy? Was there anyone that you also turned to, or was it until you came out of it that you probably had to evaluate some relationships? But what was it like coming out of it that was the lesson for you while you went through it?
And let me just say that I like how you said that, but let me just say, mental health and depression is real. You don't have to be on no type of medication or anything like that. It's real. And when I went into that depressional stage, it was almost like a force on me, a dark place. I was in a lit room and it was dark. But I had to talk to myself and I had to say, you are somebody, you can, and you will. I had to speak daily affirmations. And that's why I listen to a lot of daily affirmations when people, send me different things and I listen and I do that. It's those daily affirmations that say, wow, you can. And, as I said, I can't say COVID was good because a lot of people have died during COVID. However, for me, I say to myself, if I was on the job that I was on, would I be where I'm at today? Would I been able to push and say, hey, y'all know I'm ready to go start my journey now. Or would I have been able to do that? So I take it as a step, and there was a lot of times I had to reevaluate all of my relationships as well, because like I said, who I thought would have been there, they wasn't there. And it's okay. But it showed me that the one person that was there was God.
Mm-hmm.
He was there the whole time.
I like what you said. COVID, I know a lot of people lost their lives, but COVID saved my life because I was running on fumes. I was negative EEE and didn't understand once that I was forced to sit down. I didn't even realize, like, I was not in tune with reality, what was really happening around me. I was functioning on just fumes. That was COVID saved my life.
Yeah. And
For
it
sure.
was almost like, you know, there's more out there for you. There's
Yeah.
more. So it showed me that picture as well when I was saying, you know, what am I gonna do? What you know, the same thing what you did before, with the same thing you're doing every day, live.
Yeah.
What you done, live. And that's exactly what I'm doing, living.
Yep.
How long did that take? I'm just for those that are watching that might be feeling like they are going through something. How long did it take for you to come from that dark place and come and even start to see the light? What was those moments like for you to say, this is it, I need to speak to myself, that you can encourage someone else in that same position?
It was months. It wasn't nothing that was right away, because before you can believe in anybody else, you have to believe in yourself. And I had to believe myself that I can do it. I can get up out of this. So there was times where I was speaking myself out of it, but I was also falling back into it. I would throw the towel up and catch it again. And, you know, and sometimes the towel fell to the floor. I had to pick it up and continue on. It's almost like a race, you know, the baton falls down, you know, the whole race stops? No, you go pick up the baton and you continue on. So there were times where I would throw up the towel and it would just drop to the floor, but I picked up the towel plenty of times. And that's the thing, continue. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter where you start out, it matters where you end up. And I had to say that many times to myself and encourage myself. So if there's anybody out there listening to me on today, just know it not only takes prayer and other people to speak to you, it's also you as well. Speak life to yourself.
Cortina, you got your look over there. What's going through your head?
No, I think that's true, because life is short, right? And so when she mentioned the mental health, I was like, yeah, because there's so many people that suffer in silence, that don't necessarily have the strength or the words to put to the emotions of what they're feeling. So they feel isolated, they feel alone, they feel like, I don't know who to go to, I don't know what to do. We saw that just this week. I know there was extenuating circumstances with the when the LSU football player ended his life, you know, because and I guess what happened was, what led to the accident was he was having an argument with a family member. And sometimes when you're in the heat of the moment, when you're very upset, sometimes you got to take a break. Maybe you shouldn't make a decision when you're emotional. Maybe you shouldn't get in that car and drive away. You know, being able to apologize with people, because you don't know when the last day is. I know that you just celebrated your mom's 90th birthday. You know, and it resonated with me when you were saying, you know, when I say I'll see you later, and things like that, there's going to come a time when that won't be what we're saying, right? You know, and that's going to be for all of us, because all of us at some point, we don't know when, we will no longer be physically walking this earth anymore. And just appreciating having a sound mind. And when we feel like we have to be able to reach out to somebody, finding those people in your life where you can, you know, lean on when you need someone to talk to. And it doesn't have to be like I'm about to have a nervous breakdown, but I might be carrying a lot and I don't know where to turn. I don't know where to go. Being able to have those people in your life that you can go to, because life can be very difficult and challenging, especially in these times that we're facing right now, when we don't know what's happening, right? And so who is in your village? Who can you talk to? Who can you lean on? Having almost daily mental health checks with yourself, because sometimes you just be on default and you're not even paying attention to where you are emotionally, and then you wake up one day and you're like, oh my gosh, how did I get here? So being very intentional about checking on your own well-being so that you can advocate for what you need and where you are before it's like a runaway train and you can't catch it.
Absolutely. Know your tribe, because I don't want just my tribe to just hang out with me. I want my tribe to also pray with me,
Right.
you know, encourage me, you know, be there when I need something, or, you know, that, you know, there's times where, you know, you want somebody there to say, hey, you can do it. You can make it. You know, when my phone rang, I don't want somebody might be on the other end like, man, what do they want now? Like that phone call when somebody want money or something, you know, that phone call. But when do you get that phone call that says, how are you doing today? How are you doing? And there's no strings attached. There's nothing behind it, but how are you doing today? That means something. That matters. Words matter.
Yep, they do.
That's good stuff.
And my mic let me know I was muted. So how can everyone find you, connect with you? And do you have anything that's going on that you would like to promote?
Well, we have, as said, just like my dad is, you know, 4 years today. That's on and Mama Mel's Kitchen. That series is at www.platymm.com. You can find, click on there. That's the actual website. Oh, that's one of my my NCNW sisters. All of them are on. Thank y'all for showing up. They're very supportive. But also at Lizzie May 97 on Instagram and Elizabeth Johnson author on Facebook. I appreciate this conversation with you ladies.
Oh, we loved having you on. Absolutely. And so we also got to say thank you because you tune in so faithfully.
Oh, absolutely. I love it.
Like you are such a dynamic woman that you just everything, your story, the trajectory of where you are now is so empowering. That, you know, I'm hoping that a book, TV, movie about your life actually manifest and come to fruition, because it resonated, not necessarily with me personally, you know what I'm saying, but it resonated something in me to look differently at the world around us and the way that we take people in, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That, you know, that are not blood, but it lets me know that, you know, you don't always choose your family, but you have an opportunity to make one. And there's such power in the family that you get to make.
Yes.
And because you get to choose those people, and there's a value there that it was reflective when I first met you in the physical, and, you know, had an opportunity to sit and talk. You're such a wonderful individual, and you all follow her, support her. I'm giving you your flowers now because, you know,
thank you.
I've seen you work, ma'am. You are impeccable.
I appreciate that. I see and I follow all of y'all, and y'all do such amazing work. Yes, I'm on the podcast. Amazing stuff, things that people need to hear. So continue doing what you're doing. Episode 8, I think this is. I'm continuing to watch all of them. So thank you so much.
Oh, this is episode
14, but you're season 8. Yes. So continue on the journey. This is empowering a lot of people. I did tell all of my NCNW sisters about, you know, joining in on the conversation, not just this conversation with me, but just joining in, being able to hear what we're talking about and what's going on, not only in our community, worldwide. So thank you for having this platform.
We appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
You're gonna have to come back and just hang out with us, just, you know.
Of course, absolutely.
Thank you. With your Starbucks milkshake, because I'm still
right.
I'm in awe. I mean, I think it's such a, you have to be some kind of special to come on and be like, you got people laughing, you got people crying, you got,
Oh yeah,
that you,
I mean,
all of us.
yeah,
But again, we appreciate you coming
I
on,
appreciate
and
you.
definitely come back. And for all of you that tuned in for her, you all have such an amazing friend. And I use the word amazing a lot, but I would even say extraordinary.
Oh,
Because
thank
you
you. I appreciate
certainly
that.
are. You are an extraordinary woman, and so I thank everyone for tuning in, and all of the comments and feedback and everything. And I hope you all join us again. You can hang out there for a minute, Elizabeth, and then we're just
Okay,
going to do a round
thanks.
robin really quick. Shay, where can everybody find you at?
You can find me at the Coach of Courage on Instagram, or my website, www.thecoachofcourage.com. I'm super excited to announce that I will be launching my very first podcast Sunday, June 15th at 6 p.m. Your Way to Yahweh. I'm super excited for that. And then also the Empowerment Summit, Elevate Her, Lace Up and Level Up with Shaquila Matthews, July 26th in Conyers, Georgia. I will be taking the stage in Punta Cana, September 18th through the 23rd for Optimum Healing Space. I'm going to be amongst some women who are transitioning to empty nesting, hence. So I am going to go and encourage them to find their new identity outside of momming. And then I'm super excited. I am actually going to be in DC filming for making of an entrepreneur docuseries, which is going to be released on a lot of streaming platforms November 25th. And so, yeah, that's what I got going on.
Nice.
Diana, where can everybody find you? Oh, and what do you have going on? We got some power stuff going on here. Let's go.
Well, I do what I do. You guys can find me at Diana Richardson Philippus on Instagram, and of course DianaRichardsonPhilippus.com, as well as EmpoweredWomenEmpowered.com. Next up for me right now is, the most major thing that is coming up is our Empower Her retreat, but that's in October. Yes, we're taking it to Grenada. Other than that, I have Authentic Branding Panel, which is coming up next week. And then I also have Conversation with Bosses, which is coming up May 20, and I can't remember the date, you guys. But other than that, we always have some great things coming down the pipeline. Always happy to be on the platform, always looking to encourage, empower, and inspire, and most importantly, connect.
All right. And Dr. Lewis, where can everybody find you at?
You can find me following my daughter to college. No, I'm just kidding. You can find me on all social media platforms at The Girlfriend Therapist and at the Noir Center, NOIR Center. So I'm just in full swing prep for figuring out where in Florida she will go. So on Monday we were just in Davie visiting Nova, and we'll be on the 28th in Melbourne. And then we're also going to the University of North Florida. So we're just trying to figure out, where she feels like she fits based. So right now what we're doing is comparing strategic communications, the programs, like what courses she would need to take, to see what fits with her the best. So that's where I am in mommy land.
She processing emotions, you all. She is still processing them. It hasn't even happened yet, and she's already falling apart. Elizabeth, you're gonna have to work.
I got it. All right.
Her and Shay, empty
I know,
nester.
right? I know. So you can find me on all social media platforms at I am Dr. P Gurley, IAMDRPGURLEY. I have a couple of things that are coming up in the immediate. On June 21st, you can find me in Fayetteville for the Brown Girl and Brown Boy Kids Red Carpet Book Tour and Literacy Festival. And the weekend after that, June 28th, we will be in Jacksonville at the Mississippi East Center for the Brown Girl and Brown Boy Kids Red Carpet a book tour and literacy festival as well. You can find all of that information on the website, which is bgbblit.org, for the Literacy Foundation that will be hosting that on October 4th. We will have the evening with authors, Black Men Speak. I wanted to make sure that Black men had a safe space to have discussions. And I also think that as male authors, there's not enough representation out there to show that there are a lot of men that are intellectuals that write books. And so I wanted to give them a platform just dedicated to them. Although women, you can go. And I think women should go so that we can get the down and dirty on what men think and how they think and what they have going on. So I have that going on as well. And then, of course, also in October, right after that, I will be in Grenada at the women's retreat. So I'm more on that to come. But yeah, it's going to be a busy year for me. And I turned 50. So I have that to do as well. So yeah, so we always appreciate you all hanging out and joining with us. And we will be back next week with our special guest, which is Dr. Andrea A. Anthony. Yeah, I also want to note that when we have Dr. Anthony on, there might be some sensitivity. That will be that conversation over childhood sexual abuse or sexual abuse, period. But it's a conversation that definitely needs to be had because we do need to protect our babies, but also we need to be very aware of what happens as adults. There are so many people who are silent about it. And if you know anything about this podcast, we don't silence anything. And we have very open conversations about a variety of things. And so I just want people to know when you tune in next week that there might be some sensitivity that might be going on. And if you feel triggered at any given time, I mean, we do have our residential therapist on that also can have conversations about how to process those emotions. So we're looking forward to have.
Not to cut you off, just so they know that in that conversation, it is also transformational because it's the power to persevere through all of those challenges.
Yes.
You know, so there's an up. Yes, she's going to take you. You understand? But she's going to show you the power. Oh, I get choked up. The power of perseverance and resiliency. You know, she's yeah. Okay, go ahead.
I'm excited to have her on. So, but you'll find us right here, same time, same place. Y'all ladies, stick around until after the credits end, and what we're gonna say, cheers.
This is Herspiration Happy Hour.